What's up, guys? Alex Chasen back here with a brand new video. Hopefully you're having a great day for night. If you guys are on this world, for today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10. What is up with my hair? No. There you go. My top 10. Alright, let's try this again. What's up, guys? Alex Chasen back here with a brand new video. Hopefully you're having a great day every night. If you guys are in this world, for today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 NBA point guards going into the 2019-2020 NBA season. Don't worry, guys. I'll also be doing shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. But for today's video, I'm starting with the top 10 NBA point guards going to the 2019-2020 NBA season. I already did all the tier lists, but now it's time. It's the time to be official and tell you guys my feelings on the top 10 NBA point guards in the NBA. Controversial? Yes, this could be controversial, maybe. For some of you guys might agree. Whatever you guys feel in this video, please give me your opinions down in the comments below. Be respectful, though, okay, guys? I'm all about respect. These are my personal opinions. Everybody has their own opinions. I'm sure they're not too far off what most of you think. But anyways, hope you guys do enjoy this video. The number one point guard going into the 2019-2020 NBA season is obviously Wardell Stephen Curry. Stephen freaking Curry, baby, is the number one point guard, in my opinion, going into the 2019-2020 NBA season, and here's why. Last season, he put up 27 points a game. Yes, that's nothing for Steph Curry. He put up 30 points a game in his MVP season, right? But he also had 5 assists and 5 rebounds to match that, shooting 52% from anywhere but the three-point line, and then at the three-point line, he shot 48% from 3. That is absolutely tremendous. And yes, there's other great shooters that are in this league like Damian Lillard, Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving, other great point guards as well, like those guys. But no one trumps Stephen Curry for the capability on the offensive side. There is no one better. There's no one else who's such an offensive threat at the NBA point guard position other than Stephen Curry. And don't disregard his defense. His defense, yes, is a little subpar, but he's solid at it, and I have Stephen Curry at my number one point guard. My number 2 point guard going into the 2019-20 NBA season, it's got to go to Damian Lillard. This man has solidified himself as the second best point guard in the NBA, and here's why. Last year, he put up 26 points a game, 1 steal a game, 7 assists, with also 4 rebounds as well. He shot 50% from the field as a whole. That's absolutely tremendous. That's actually better than Stephen Curry. And then from the three-point line, he shot 37%. So not quite as good as Stephen Curry, who was number 1. So that's what holds him back. But Damian Lillard is a killer offensively. You saw that shot to win the series against the Oklahoma City Thunder against Paul George. The man is an absolute killer. Him and CJ are one of the best duos in the NBA. But Damian Lillard as a point guard, he's the second best point guard in the NBA. I can't really say anything else. The man is just a killer offensively. Defensively, he's not bad either. Average about 1 steal a game. He is such an NBA star and a fantastic NBA point guard. The number 3 best point guard going into the 2019-2020 NBA season. I do have some hate for this man, but I gotta give him credit where credit is due. Kyrie Irving is my number 3 point guard going into this year's NBA season, and here's why. The man got moves for days. Yes, we know that. We understand that. Defensively, he's there as well. There's really no weakness in this guy's game except in the locker room. His leadership sucks. That's why the Celtics didn't really care that we got rid of him and signed Kemba Walker, because his leadership sucks. And as an NBA player on this point guard list, being the 3rd best point guard in the NBA, I'm giving him that based off his pure talent. The man does not have many weaknesses. He's clutch. He won the NBA Finals for LeBron James in Cleveland. Yes, LeBron had an amazing block, had an amazing play in the NBA Finals, that series against the Warriors. But at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving made that winning play, and he is just a beast offensively. Last season, averaged 24 points a game, 1.5 steals a game, 7 assists, and also 4 rebounds on top of that. He shot 53% from the 2-point area, so everywhere but the 3. And that 3-point line, he shot 40% from 3. So honestly, he did not have a bad season last year, but then when he got to playoff time, well, that was a crap shoot, and that's what puts him at number 3 on my NBA point guard list. The fourth best point guard going into the 2019-2020 NBA season goes to my guy, my favorite player in the NBA, Russell Westbrook, or Beastbrook. There's not many flaws in this man's offensive game except from behind the three-point line. And yes, you're probably saying, well, that's a pretty big flaw. Well, no, he can hit it. He's not like a Ben Simmons who's going to be later on this list. He's not like a Ben Simmons who he can't shoot at all. He's very inconsistent, yes, but I feel like he's working on it. This offseason is going to come next year with James Harden absolutely kill it from behind the arc. My prediction, he's going to shoot 33% from the three-point line, but now let's get into his stats from last season. Last season, yes, it was a little down, but Paul George was taking most of the load for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But last year, Russell Westbrook put up 23 points a game, on almost 2 steals a game, 10 assists, and 9.5 rebounds a game. So close to averaging a triple-double. Again, from the two-point area, he shot 48%. And then from the three-point line, well, he shot a lackluster 29% from the field, from behind the arc. Yes, his three-point shot is not the best, but it's Russell freaking Westbrook, and the man's a monster. The fifth best point guard going into the 2019-2020 NBA season goes to the new acquisition for the Boston Celtics, Kemba Walker. I think this man is going to be a fantastic fit in Boston, but for this man's play, Kemba Walker is an absolute offensive genius and an absolute offensive monster. There are not any flaws in this man's offensive game. He'll get to the rack, he'll get to the hoop, he'll shoot from behind the arc with ease, he'll take contested shots with ease and splash them most of the time. On defense, yes, there is some trouble because he's a little undersized. He's listed at around 6 feet, but we all know he's more like 5'10", 5'11". So yes, he's an undersized point guard, but on the offensive end, no one's beating him to the spot. He's blowing by everybody. The only thing that holds him down a little bit is honestly his defensive presence. There's really not much, but last year he averaged 26 points a game. That was a career high for Kemba Walker. He was an all-star last year. And on top of that, yes, I said his defensive presence is not the best. He still averaged 1 steal a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, shooting 50% from the two-point area, and then for the three-point line, shot 35% from the three. He could increase on that a little bit, yes, but that's pretty darn freaking good. And I have Kemba Walker as my 5th best point guard. The 6th best point guard going into the NBA this season is Ben Simmons. No, I do not have hate for Ben Simmons for all those people out there saying, well, you hate Ben Simmons. No, he just needs to work on his three-point shot. And we all saw that video footage of him putting in the work in the gym, and he was shooting threes, he was splashing threes, he was splashing two-pointers. First, Ben Simmons, do that in an NBA game, then come back to me, and then I'll move you up on this list. But until he gets a three-point shot, I cannot move Ben Simmons up on this list. He does everything else on the court 100% A+. He could be the best point guard in the league. He just needs to get that shot. Last season, he averaged 17 points a game on almost 1 block a game, almost 1.5 steals a game, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. He shot 60% from the free throw line. You need to work on your shooting, buddy. But from the regular two-point area, taking layups and little jumpers, he'll do it sometimes. He shot 60%, so that's where he's getting his money. And then from the three-point line, well, a whopping 0%. The man didn't even take one, and if he did, well, he missed it. So Ben Simmons, buddy, you need to work on your three-point shot, and you'll be moving up. This is to the world. This is to the world. If Ben Simmons gets a three-point shot and is consistent with it, like a Russell Westbrook, even a Russell Westbrook, he'll be number 2 on my list. We're sitting right behind Steph Curry. Mark my words. If he does that, I will move him up to number 2, but I'm still waiting for that to happen. And as of right now, Ben Simmons is the 6th best point. My 7th best point guard going into this NBA season has to go to DeAaron Fox. Last season, he proved to the world that he is going to be a star point guard in the near future, if not this upcoming season. Last season, averaged 17 points a game, 1 steal a game, 8 assists with 3 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field. Roughly was 49%. I'll bump it up for you, buddy. And then from the three-point line, he shot 37%. This man does everything on the offensive end. And I didn't even get to the best part of his offensive game yet. He is the Flash out there. He is the fastest player in the NBA when John Wall is not hurt. So as of right now, DeAaron Fox is the fastest NBA player on the court. He gets by everybody. And his defense, he has defense. He is not an undersized point guard at all. He is 6'3", has tremendous height, can get to the rack, can shoot the 3, can shoot the mid-range. This man's offensive game is pretty much perfect. Has a few flaws here and there. Yes, he could be a little bit more consistent on the offensive end, but he is pretty darn perfect. If he upgrades some of his skill and gets a little bit better on the offensive end, he will be a very, very high-level point guard in the NBA. But number 7's not bad, DeAaron. But as of right now, I have you at number 7. My 8th best point guard going into this year's NBA season has to go to Jamal Murray. If you asked me last season and if you tell me to go in the future and rank my top 10 like I'm doing right now, I wouldn't even have Jamal Murray in my top 15. But last year, he proved to everybody that he is a tremendous NBA point guard who still has a ton of room to grow. But then when he went to the playoffs last year, he put his A game on and played absolutely tremendous. But in the regular season last year, he averaged 18 points a game, almost 1 steal a game, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, shooting 47% from the field, and then from the three-point line, shot 36%. That is pretty darn good. And I'm looking at that 18 points a game. I think this year he's going to go up to around 21 points a game. I think he's going to have a blowout season, absolutely kill it, and just keep advancing on his game and getting better and better and better. Yes, he is a massive point guard standing at 6'4", which gives him a lot of upside, and I cannot wait to see what Jamal Murray does in the near future. I have him ranked at number 8. My 9th best point guard going to this year's NBA season has to be Trey Young, and here's why. If we fast forward 10 years from now, I think we're going to be saying, well, Trey Young is the best point guard in the NBA. But as of right now, he is still a killer. Averaged 19 points a game last year as a rookie. 1 steal a game, 8 assists, 3 rebounds. Let me say it again. As a, excuse me, I'm still sick, guys. As a rookie, 47% from the 2-point area, 32% from 3. We all thought this man is going to come in and be the next Steph Curry. Well, he pretty much did that. The only thing he needs to work on, he's a little undersized for a point guard. He's 6'1", so not super undersized, but he's a little light, needs to bulk up a little bit. It makes him look a little smaller out in the court. I was surprised when I read he's 6'1". I thought he was like 5'10". But with that being said, if he gets the three-point shot a little bit more consistent, because as we know, he did it in college, and then he came to the NBA and did it, he chucks up a lot of shots, and he'll make, like the stats say, 32% of them. So it's not bad, but we know the range is there. We know the potential's there. He just needs to be a little bit more consistent with the three-point shot, and he'll be moving up this list very, very quickly. Just needs a little bit more consistent and not chucking up threes from like 40 feet back and just expecting it to go in. That's my only criticism for Trey Young. Other than that, fantastic point guard. I have him at number 9. Finally, we are at number 10, and my 10th best point guard going into this year's NBA season goes to the most underrated player in the NBA, Mike Conley. This man should have been an all-star multiple times. He averaged 20 points a game twice in his NBA career, averaged 17-plus points a game 3 times, and he is just an absolute offensive monster. And on the defensive side, he's not bad either. On his career, he's averaged 1.5 steals a game. He's just super underrated. Last year, had his best statistical season, 22 points a game, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field, shooting 36% from 3. Last season really proved that Mike Conley has been underrated his whole career. I think he's going to come into Utah this year. Him and Donovan and Rudy and the rest of their team, I think they're going to have a fantastic season. I think Mike Conley is going to have to step back and just be that third option behind Rudy and Donovan. But I'm really looking forward to see what Mike Conley can do. And I ranked him at my number 10 point guard going into this year's season. So I have 2 honorable mentions. I'll do this for every position as I go along with the videos. But my 2 honorable mentions for point guard today are Kyle Lowry and Chris Paul. We'll start off here with Kyle Lowry. He's never been really a top point guard in the NBA. He's always kind of been above average, but never terrific. But he's had very good casts of people on his team, like Serge Ibaka, Kawhi Leonard recently, and then DeMar DeRozan in the past with Valanciunas. He's always had a good cast around him to carry him and make him look better than he is. Not saying he's bad, but he's not really a top point guard in my eyes in the NBA. And then we have Chris Paul. If we rewind 5 years, he'd be in the top 5, but it's the older Chris Paul, the 33, 34-year-old Chris Paul. Out of his prime, Chris Paul, still going to give you around 15 and 8, but he's just not the same Chris Paul, and he's not going to give you the same value that I think the other guys in my top 10 will give you as their starting point guard. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. My top 10 NBA point guards going into this season. Hopefully it wasn't too controversial for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, you see that thing right here. Don't forget to like. Please like the video. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Like always, peace.